We live. Yep. We back. 6 o'clock. You know, I'm a little late today, you know. Had some technical difficulties. Internet. That's all I can say. Internet issues. I'm going to just leave it at that. We're going to get into the show, though. I got a special guest to my right today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Levante Davis. Go to school at Indiana Tech. Business major. Also a member of Gentlemen of the Future with the man here on my left.
Most definitely. So, we're going to get into this show, people. So I'm going to ask Mr. Davis here, what do you think about these three shootings that we had earlier in the week, 2 weeks ago?
Well, it's always sad to see another black man lost, as well as to see anyone lose their life. When it comes down to the shooting of Alt Sterling, it was very sad to see because it was clear from the video that he was already on the ground. They already had him pretty much detained, and you know, and to see him lose his life because someone yelled gun, you know, and I definitely feel as though the police were in the wrong. You know, it was just a really, really sad thing to see. I love how the community came out to, you know, to show their support and didn't just let it go down as just a murder. It's a murder in cold heart. You know, I do want to say one thing though, that the police, will say that they do have a stressful job, and we all do have to recognize that. Yes, the police are in the wrong, but we also do have to realize that they have a stressful job, and the killing of Castle in Minnesota, that one is also, you know, sad to see him lose his life. But we also do have to realize, and like I said, the police have a stressful job, and we definitely, when it comes down to the way that went down, when you really look at the grand scheme of, you know, the details and everything of what really happened, you know, I can't say that it's easy for a situation like that to happen, but I mean, from my understanding, he had a firearm on him in the car, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And he also, when the officer pulls up to the car, from my understanding, we're dealing with police. You know, they ask you. They're probably the first thing he said was, I see you have a firearm in the car, based off the license plate and the tags. And he says, can I see your ID? And he says, you know, I have a gun. And he reaches, you know. Now, that reach is something else. Like I was always taught, like I haven't had to deal with it because I personally don't own the firearm, you know. But in that case, you know, he reaches, and the officer, you know, he just reacted, you know. And my thing is, what are they trained to do? And that's kind of the conversation I was had a little earlier. And it's, what are all these officers trained to do in terms of situations like that? Are they trained to kill on sight, or are they trained to kill on a threat, or are they trained to, you know, neutralize the situation in a peaceful manner? And I definitely believe that nowadays these officers are trained to kill on sight. You know, they're not necessarily trying to handle the man anyway, because, and you can just tell by the way they're acting, you know. And my thing is, if you're trying to neutralize the situation, you have a taser. You know, you have a taser, you have pepper spray. Right. You know, those two things should be used first before you just pull. Mm-hmm. You know, and before you just reach. And in terms of the cops being shot, I mean, me as a black man, I've heard about, you know, just 130 plus this year. And this is just 2016. We're not even halfway through it. Well, we're just over halfway through it. This isn't accounting back to all the many black lives they've taken. I hate to see someone lose their life, but I would be lying if I sat here and said that when they said 6 officers got killed by a shooter, that I was really just distraught. Like, in a way, a part of me felt like it's sad to see them lose their lives, but in a way, I felt like something needed to be done. Like something has to be done for people to really open their eyes up and see, okay, this is what it feels like to be on the other side of the bullet, you know, and not the shooter. But part of me is a little bit of a conspiracy, because that whole situation, the way that went down in Dallas, didn't make a lot of sense to me. Because they said there's a shooter, okay, and then the first thing was they said there was 2 snipers, and we all know that, you all know that in, quote unquote, in the hood, we don't own sniper rifles. We don't. The most you might own is an AR. You know, we don't own sniper rifles. So when they say 2 snipers, And that just threw me off. I said 2 snipers. No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And then to come to find there's 2 assault rifles. You know, they said there was 2 snipers. Snipers don't shoot from the street. They shoot from up high vantage points.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the first thing that came to my mind was when they said 2 snipers. Okay, it wasn't 2 snipers. It was someone with an AR, an assault rifle. I said, okay, well, that has to be military training. You know, there's no way. There's no civilian who's going to shoot through a crowd and pinpoint 10 cops, 10, 11 cops, hit only those cops and not hit anyone else. That's military training right there. You know? And then it comes down to, oh, well, he was military trained, but he was also a black man. But they also tried to frame some random black man on the street and said, oh, he had an AR. And, you know, they plastered his name all over the internet saying he was the killer. Oh, well, he really didn't kill anybody. Okay, well, why are you just falsely accusing people at this point? So after that comes, then we look at the evidence at the end of it. They say, oh, well, he hit up in the building, and after he hit in the building, they sent the drone in there to kill him because they couldn't neutralize the situation. Well, I've seen multiple times in situations where hostage situations where the killer was neutralized or where the killer was brought out. You know, for example, in the shooting in the movie theater, he went in there and massacred 8 people, and he walks out of there. He doesn't get no bullets put in him, none of that. So in a way, I'm in my mind, and there's no. They went in there with a bomb and blew him up, from my understanding. And from my thing is, if you blow someone up with a bomb, the first thing they're gonna go was anything paper, anything like that, paper, clothing. That's gonna get burned up, if I'm correct. But his ID just magically survives, like that of the IDs of the people who were on the plane in 9/11. Their IDs just magically flew out the plane and just landed on the sidewalk, just so you can recognize. So that a lot of that really just didn't make a lot of sense to me, you know. So, and I'm not gonna be a big conspiracy theorist, but a lot of that just doesn't really add up, because you know the government can pretty much say whatever they want in terms of mass media, and that's what you're gonna believe. Well, that's what the mass media is gonna believe, unless you kind of really dig deeper into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I mean that's happened before, where people have been killed and they've said, "Oh, this is really what happened," when a totally different story went down.
That's true. You got a point. No, I ain't know about no ID that didn't get burnt up. That's plastic. Plastic is known to burn.
Right.
You can burn up some plastic.
Immediately burnt up.
I get what you're saying. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna update a little bit about the shootings a little bit. Apparently now it comes out that they say Castile was him and his girlfriend robbed the grocery store before they got pulled over for that busted tail light, and they stole a pack of Newports. What y'all think about that?
So that's why they shot him.
That's why
they shot him.
And now they come out the cop was a Latino, not a white man.
Regardless, he on the force. So I mean, I'm not looking at just the color of the cop. I'm looking at the actual cop. A cop shot another black man. I don't care if he's Latino, black, or white. He still is another cop shooting another black man. So I'm just like, they didn't want to say, well, he stole some Newports, so.
It sound like
so what? Like, he stole some Newports, so that's why you shot his ass? I mean, I don't understand. Like, you shot him in front of his girlfriend and the kid because he stole some Newports. Really? So if I steal a PS4 game, I'm going to get shot for that, huh? Oh, you stole a PS4, the new 2K17, yeah, we had to shoot him for that one. Huh? Like, no, that don't make no sense. Like, no, you can't justify that. There's no way trying to change the story up or try to make it seem better. Like, no, it's nothing. You can't. No.
I feel like it was a cover-up to save that cop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the same situation with that Trayvon Martin with George Zimmerman when they had that cover-up. Oh, he was the neighborhood watch, so he had the right to be
shooting him in the back.
Yeah, basically.
No.
So I think it's basically a cover-up.
Yeah, it's always some type of cover-up.
Because I really think that shooting is an accident. He saw him reaching and he just reacted off site and he was in the wrong. So now they got to cover him up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, he stole some Newports, by the way.
Yeah.
So do y'all think he's going to be acquitted?
No.
No, there's no way he could be acquitted.
But countless times again, they have all been acquitted for all this.
But if I'm sitting in the jury and you tell me, well, yeah, he stole some Newports before he got pulled over, so what does that mean? Like, he stole some Newports, okay. Did he light the cigarette and throw it at your face? Like, there wasn't none of that.
The thing is I think it all goes back to a little bit on what is the job that you take when you become a police officer? Is that job your job is to enforce the laws, which is if someone is caught speeding, stealing, etc., your job is to arrest them and put them through the due process, which is in our legal system. Your job is not to take anyone live in your hands unless your life is threatened.
Right.
First. So that a lot of these facts are irrelevant, but they're relevant to the people in the public, because what it really sounds like is every time a black man is killed, it's, oh, but he had a past of the A, B, and C. Like, for example, when I believe it was Sterling, when Sterling was killed, he was a registered sex offender in his past.
That was first thing.
When they were, it's sad to say, it's been so many black killings, but I believe it was a black man, a black child. He stole a candy bar. He stole something from the store previously before. All that is just irrelevant. But what it does is it makes him less of a human being, because he committed a crime in the eyes of, the other. Sometimes in the eyes of the public, he's less of a human being now. Oh, he committed some heinous act, which really isn't a heinous act. He stole something. Like, a lot of people don't realize when you're not working at work, you're stealing from the job. But no one wants to say, oh, well, he was stealing, so. Well, at the end of the day, he didn't deserve to die.
Right.
What is your job as a police officer is to arrest that man. And he's reaching, but you ask him to give me your wallet. Like, that doesn't give me your ID. So what? At the end of the day, you ask for his ID. You know what I mean? And right. You gotta
reach for it.
Yeah, I mean, he has to reach for it. Like he told you, he's telling you I have a gun. Now, your common sense will tell you, I'm not gonna tell you I have a gun and then shoot you.
Right.
Cause I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense. So, a lot of that just, it's just to make him look less of a human being and make him look worse. So that, oh, well, he shot him. That's okay.
And that feels bad for him. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he did steal, so I mean, maybe that's why he got shot. Please,
No, it's
please.
a cover up.
Yeah, please.
And I don't think he'll get acquitted. Who's in the jury? What kind of people are in the jury?
I mean, it depends.
No, what kind of people gonna be in that jury?
I mean, it depends.
I mean, when we
They
look
gonna
at
put who they want in that jury.
Yeah, it depends though. Like I said,
Yeah,
it depends.
he ain't gonna get acquitted.
let's look at the demographic in Minnesota. I mean, when we look at the demographic in Minnesota, let's
He's
really
gonna pass
be
right
real
on
about
through
it.
like nothing happened.
It's gonna pass through like nothing happened, just like many other court cases. I mean, our justice system is flawed. Like, all the police have to say is their life felt threatened, and then they did the right thing is their job. Because there's no everything the police do is now a gray area.
Yeah.
There's no right and wrong with them. Everything is just gray. So whether you let someone go because they're yelling at you, or whether it's gray. Nothing. Everything they can do can so-called be justified. So I have no doubt that he'll be let go. And it's sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. So I'm gonna update the Sterling thing as well. This is still my question. Did the man have a gun? Did he have a gun?
He had a gun.
So he had a gun.
He had a gun.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because I mean, people say he's reaching for the gun. I don't see how that's possible when you had two big, heavy-set officers on top of you. I don't see how that's possible.
Especially the guy's arms pinned down. Like, I mean, if you see the man reaching for his gun, there's two of y'all. Somebody can have confidence to grab his hand and keep it from reaching to it, while the other person just disarm him so he don't have it on him. I mean, it's two of y'all there, so you can't say, I couldn't do both. One of y'all could do one thing, somebody could do the other. So for them to say, well, you reaching for a gun and shoot him, it's like, why do y'all stop him from getting the gun? You understand? I mean, if you in a gunfight with somebody and you see the gun drop on the ground, you just gonna let him just go jump out. I'm pretty sure you're gonna try to get it from him. So why didn't you do it in this case? You already got him down on the ground.
I mean, in another sense, let's put ourselves in a situation. You two white cops around a whole bunch of black people surrounded, who yell and screaming because you got this man on the ground. When somebody yells gun and he's actually trying to reach for it and he's squirming and you've been wrestling him on the ground, they just reacted. Not saying that they were right.
But they already on edge.
But just like he said, they have a stressful job.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying he was reaching for the gun?
He was reaching for the gun.
Are you
I think he was. Because in the video, you can see he's, first of all, they
moving.
got him on the ground.
And they tell him stop moving.
And he's still struggling to fight. He's not going down.
Well, they was tasing his head. I mean, you would be shaking too. If somebody.
I mean, you would be shaking, but you see before they was tasing him and everything where he's going. He's going down to his pockets.
He wasn't moving his hand down to
so
the waist.
if you in that situation, what you reaching for?
Yeah, you should.
Well, y'all hold on. Y'all hold me down, so I'm gonna show y'all my ID.
Especially if you already know
what you
that,
reaching for?
Yeah, you already know black people getting shot anyway.
Yeah.
So why would you want to keep reaching for something
Exactly.
like? No, I ain't gonna do nothing because he might shoot me. Like, I ain't trying to miss you.
If you in that situation, you gonna
still be reaching for something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reach for
all.
nothing.
Well, I understand that, but in the same sense, we do have to realize you have two officers, which are at least 220 pounds, detaining each arm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless you just some ninja and you can shoot with your foot or something, like both your arms are down, you're laying on your stomach.
That's true.
Okay, So, yeah, you can reach, but how effective are you going to be in shooting? And now when he says gun, if you notice, it wasn't like he said gun, he waited, assessed the situation, and then reacted. He as soon as he said gun, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, and it's like I had a conversation with one of my friends, Juwuan, the other day. Not you, another Juwuan, but he wanted to say, he said, it's like how many shots do you really need? And that's
exactly.
the thing. Once it's like you know, are they trained?
But it's just saying.
I mean, it's like but in their situation, they already tased them, so the taser didn't work. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're shooting, do officers shoot to neutralize the situation, like I said, or do they shoot to kill? Now, I've talked with having a conversation with some friends, and I believe that they are trained to shoot to kill. Once they let that trigger go, they are shooting to kill. That's why in a lot of situations you hear about 4 or 5 shots being unloaded into somebody, not just one. They're trying to shoot to kill and neutralize situation. But I mean, if you're in that situation as a black man, you got to be having a lot of animosity because you know how many black men have been killed by just sitting there. They haven't been resisting. You know, they've been getting their body turked and turned, and you know, you feel like they're gonna break your shoulder. So you don't want to just get hurt for no reason because you know no justice is gonna come from it. So it's tough. But I mean, I definitely I can't say whether or not he was reaching or not. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like the officer should have unloaded the weapon like that. It should have been gun, throw the gun out rather than yell gun and just get to unload.
Yeah, well, you never know these days, but I think those officers would probably be very much so acquitted on that regard down in Baton Rouge. Just want to say that very quickly.
They done.
I don't know if you guys seen this, but on CNN they had a debate with they were on a show, one of the CNN shows, and they had a retired New York detective, a journalist, and the former chief of the NYPD, and one of the first guy, light skinned, he was more of a light skinned guy. He said black people are more prone to be criminality, which, if you know what the word means, more prone to be criminals, to do criminal acts of malicious intent. I mean, he has some stats, but if you look at the stats of how he portrayed the stats, if you look at how most cops, like we said earlier before we even started airing, they go to areas that are more prone to have, you know, black people or the more poverty-stricken areas. So, I mean, because sometimes to me stats don't mean a lot in certain instances of when you say killings of black versus white or Latino. To me, they don't justify anything because you got to look at how you portray those numbers and how you can bend them to make them look good for you.
Right.
So, I mean, do you guys think that black people are more prone to be criminalities?
No, I think it depends on. I mean, every black person is different. So if they see me and him together, I mean, they gonna think he more prone to do it than me, or I'm more prone to do it than him, or we both are. But neither one of us is in that. I mean, we both in school, we both in sport. Like, so for them to say, well, yeah, they're more. So I mean, I understand. So if he on the south and I'm on the north, and they see him shoot him because he more prone for it. They see me don't do nothing, but we both at the same school, we both do sports. Like, it don't make any sense. So I just feel like depending on, you know, the type of people. I mean, some people, yeah, they grew up in that life. So that's all they knew. That's all they did. But the group of them all together and say, well, yeah, since they all live down there, that's what they own. So since you live out here in the South, then they see you, they're gonna assume you part of that too because you out here, but you're not on that. So I mean, it just depends on the person. But I mean, some cops, I don't know. It's just sometimes it's all about who you send out there to in that area. Like if you got a cop who just think every black person is, you know, a criminal or something, and then you got him out here in the South. Then I mean, what you expect? Every person you see, he gonna think they own something. But if you got one that's kind of like, I give him the benefit of the doubt, they might not, you know, just see what happens. Then you might not have as many people getting arrested or whatever. So it kind of depends on who they send out over in different areas too, who they group out there. You know, that comes into a factor also.
I think that it's almost like what you're looking for. Like when police go out, it's depending on, you know, what they're looking for nowadays. We all know the prison system is a $1 billion business. So, you know, sending somebody to court, $1,000 court fee off top, plus if you want to pay for a lawyer, because obviously, you know, we all know that when you get a court-appointed lawyer, you're not going to win your case. I mean, it's just, you know, at that point, it's what you're looking for, and we all know that being just our black urban areas are pretty much very densely populated. You know, you don't see too many black areas where it's a lot of farmland and it's only like maybe, you know, a house on every couple miles. No, we're densely populated, you know, in townhomes and, you know, in what we call the slums, aka, you know, the hood. So, you know, it's a lot of us in one spot. And, you know, a lot of times they send out, there are multiple cops. There are multiple cops and a lot of cops sent out, you know, to those areas, you know, especially since we tend to live in bigger cities. So there are naturally more cops. And they look, and it's like I said, it's what you're looking for. So typically, when they come around the hood and the urban populated areas, they're looking for typically, you know, drug charges and stuff like that, as well as, you know, the homicides and stuff. But typically, it's the petty stuff. It's the drug charges and stuff, and it's like we're targeted in a way, you know. And so that's why, in a way, he's right, because we are more likely to become criminals because we're targeted. You know, I mean, we can't sit and act like we're not. How many police officers do you see just patrolling the gated community? You know, you don't see it. You don't see it because they have their own little fake security guards. But when you go through the ghetto or when you go through a black area, you'll see 2 or 3 cops just riding through just to make sure everything is all right. You know, it's because so if you catch one person, it might be one person out there maybe going 7 miles over the speed limit. But there's 30 people out here. Like, if you ever driven through one of those cities where, you know, it's just one of those real urban, or those real rural cities where, you know, one of those white areas, yeah, you can go speed whenever you want to. There ain't no cops nowhere. You know, you try speeding through the hood, it's over, you know, because you getting caught because it's so many, you know, it's so many cops. So, in a way, he's right. We are more likely to become criminals. But also, in a way, what he was saying, you know, it does depend on who you're sending out there. Because when you really think, like, really psychologically, when you think about us as black people, we're raised with that motto of, you know, F the police. You know, we don't like the police growing up. You know, all of our you know, our role models and stuff they were not fond of the police, and that's very obvious. So growing up, you don't want to be a police officer. So that's less black police officers you have. But the people who do want to be police officers are the people who, you know, that might be of, you know, other races who are, let's clean the streets up, who unfortunately, you know, typically tend to be more of the, you know, the white populace, you know, more of the maybe typically more of the white populace. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really seen too many Asian cops in my life. Too many Asians, too many. Maybe I've seen some more Latin. I've seen some more Latin Americans. I've seen some Latin Americans, but it's typically white cops. So honestly, you're like, it really brings you back to what Bernie Sanders said, which we need more cops and a police force that resemble our communities. We don't have a lot of black cops patrolling black kids. We have a lot of white cops patrolling black kids. So they don't understand, you know, what these kids are. They don't understand when they see 7, 8 kids outside just chilling on the corner. They don't understand, from our perspective, all we doing is going outside because our mom said get out the house and go do something. And we don't feel like going. Everybody tired. We ain't trying to go hoop. We all just chilling on the corner. We don't know what to do, you know. But they don't see that. All they see is, they got to be up to something. There's 7, 8 of them. They got to be up to something. They probably in the game.
What they plotting on.
So
that's true. And now to digress to this next topic. Now, I don't know if y'all look at the Blaze. It's like a Fox affiliate, but it's not really a Fox affiliate. This woman named Tami Lauren. She you know, she's been in the news a lot lately for a lot of different things. She said something about Jesse Williams' speech and the BET Award. She's known to have her opinion and say it, I guess, very rare. But I'm gonna quote a tweet of what she said, and I quote, "Meet the new KKK. They call themselves the Black Lives Matter, but no mistake, their goals are far from inequality. #Dallas, #Blue Lives Matter." And I'm going to play a clip of her so-called apology, if some call it, but I'll let y'all hear this.
It's for the KKK statement. Kind of. I'm outspoken, I'm controversial, and I'm a human being, but one thing I am not is a racist. I'm also not being backed into a corner in silence. We all say crap we don't mean when we're upset, and if my tweets on the night of the Dallas ambush hurt you, I apologize, but don't for 1 second think that I don't have a right to criticize a movement that I find destructive, damaging, and dangerous. So far, the Blaze...
So she's still bashing.
This, I don't consider that an apology by any means necessary, but for me, if I say something I meant it. No matter, because if I'm thinking that, I meant it. So if I say, yeah, I think you're racist, and you know, maybe you might have changed it, I'm not going to apologize, because if I meant it at that time, I meant it. I can't take my words back, because to me, the word now, sorry, is come saturated to the point that it doesn't really do too much to me at all. So when she said that and I heard it, you know, she meant that in her heart, honestly. To me, she meant that they had a new KKK.
I mean, she's still saying.
But the thing about the KKK is, these people, the KKK, are white people that put on the hood, that can be our doctor, they can be our lawyer, they can be our teacher the next day. So they hide their identities from us.
We not dressing up.
So, I mean, if you look at the Black Lives Matter movement, they're not dressing up in a costume and saying, oh, well, I'm going to blow up some people today. You know, they're not doing that. And I'm not saying that that's what, I'm not even close saying that that's what the Black Lives Matter movement is at all, because it's not even close to that. Just because some cops got killed, people take to the next narrative and go all the way left to everything. And I don't understand it. But I'm going to let y'all handle that next. What y'all think? Was that an apology? First off, is that an apology?
It's not an apology.
Because she talked the way, she said, if you feel bad about my tweets about the Dallas shooting, I'll apologize. But you didn't say nothing about apologizing for the tweet that you said about the KKK. She didn't say nothing about that. All she said was the Dallas shooting tweets, I apologize for those. Okay, but we talking about the one you said about the KKK.
Those might have been a reference to, there was a hashtag Dallas. So I do.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm just like, still. Like, she knew the real reason why they, what she supposed to been talking about. And she still talked around it and said, why, I mean, this and that, I still feel like they're doing this. So she's still bashing them when she's supposed to be apologizing. And she's still talking about, I still feel like it's crap and this and that. And, okay, you still bashing the movement when you're supposed to be apologizing for it. I don't understand. So which one is it? You apologizing or you still bashing it? You gonna still bash it, don't even say, I apologize. Just leave it alone and keep doing what you're doing. So, I mean, that was no apology.
I mean, I feel like it's not an apology at all, but in her previous encounters, I feel like this woman is just looking for attention. And now that she has drawn it and she's made these tweets, now it's lashing back at her. So now you have to say something to get people off your back, especially with that tweet.
I'm a firm believer of, like, kind of what he said. In a way, the word apology, like I said, saying sorry and stuff like that, apologies in this day and age are kind of, in a way, almost dead. Because I mean, I was taught a couple years ago, and I'll never forget it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And a person of her status, and not just and just the fact that she's on television, so millions of people are going to watch what you say. Mm-hmm. Typically, you have a teleprompter, if I'm not correct, that tells you what to say. So you know I can't just go up here and say anything based off the fact you have a teleprompter. So you know you have to say specific things and be socially aware and socially conscious. Okay, that's understandable. So in your social media, you feel as though at that point, now I can say whatever I want to say. So when you make that statement, to me, that's really how you feel. Mm-hmm. And my thing is this: I have no problem with you feeling how you feel. Right. Like, everyone's gonna have their opinion on something. Just like when people go on Facebook and they see comments of somebody with a hell lot of hate in their heart, who just are totally going out of the way to just be racist. People are gonna say what they want to say behind the computer. And behind the air. She probably went home went to her little house, didn't go outside for the rest of the day. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly. Because they feel as though I can just say whatever and I don't really have to deal with the repercussions. That was not an apology. Do not get that. That was a statement. That was a statement to say, I said what I said. Deal with it. If you got a problem with it, I'm gonna apologize so I don't get fired. Mm-hmm. Or I'm going to say I apologize, I don't get fired. But y'all all know I don't care. Mm-mm. Like, I've done over and over again and said, I really do not care for this Black Lives Matter movement. But for her to take it to the extreme and compare it to the KKK is where I have the problem. And it's not just with her, because I feel like, but she is almost reminds me of Donald Trump a little bit in the way that they just say whatever they feel. But what they say is actually how a lot of other people feel. And I have more problems with those people because they won't say what they really feel. They'll be the ones out there protesting with you in silence with this Black Lives Matter, all this, but really in their mind they have no intentions of that. My thing is don't go from a blue lives, don't take it from Black Lives Matter to a Blue Lives Matter or a All Lives Matter. No, like I don't just go like for example, over the past time I lost a cousin, and I lost a cousin to gun violence. Yeah, that's tough, but people from his funeral, like, and my cousin was wrapped around, you know, about a shooting of, you know, another young man where he died. People from the other young man's funeral didn't come to mind and say, oh, well, my friend's lives matter more than yours. You know, it's like people take Black Lives Matter. Oh, black man got shot. Oh, well, everybody gets shot. Like, do you just go crash people's funerals? Like, oh, well, I lost too, so you like, no, you don't do that. You know, it's like take each individual event as it is, which is an individual event, which their families mourning the loss. You know, and we black people are mourning our own losses, obviously, because you guys don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the main thing where I think Black Lives Matter came from, because where did this whole all lives matter come from when I'm not gonna say white people, but the United States, which was predominantly white, came out and they went and they massacred all the Indians. Where was the whole all lives matter then? Where was all lives matter at during slavery? Where was all lives matter at during when we went overseas and totally went and bombed people? When we went to Iraq and went and massacred people? Where was all lives matters at then? Okay. But whenever we say Black Lives Matter, it's, oh, well, all lives matter. No, in your eyes, all lives don't matter. And that's just really how I feel.
Mm-hmm. You got something to say?
I'm good on that one. He cleared that one good.
I agree. Touche. So, I heard you hint at Trump. So, you know, our governor, Mr. Pence, he chose Mr. Pence to be his running mate. What y'all think about that?
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, you got people in Fort Wayne or in Indiana that's already saying, yeah, you know, I'm glad Pence is, you know, out of here. He's out here as our governor. You know, he's gonna get out here and go do. I'm glad he ain't do nothing for the state. He's messed up. I'm glad he's gone. Yeah, good riddance. But those same people are gonna go vote for Trump, which he gonna be with Trump in the end. So you glad that he not messing up the state of Indiana no more. We want him to go tear up the whole country though. By you voting for Trump. That's basically what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want him doing the state, but I want him to go mess up the country, so I'm gonna go vote for Trump. I mean, the people that's saying that, y'all shouldn't be voting for Trump then. Y'all don't want Pence. If y'all don't like Pence, because he's gonna be with Trump.
Yep.
I mean, for some reason, when Donald Trump chose him, he saw something by him that he could relate to. So, if you don't like what Pence is doing, that means you can't like what Trump is doing. Well, no, that's not true, because they're not the same people. Why is he like something that he liked, or they got some type of connection that he feel like, yeah, he could be my running mate, help me, because, you know, we kind of see eye to eye or something. Okay, then. So you can't vote for both of them. I mean, you can't do one or the other. It has to be both. So, that's why I understand people, especially the ones in Indiana, they already a dominantly Republican state anyway, but you want to complain about Pence, y'all voted for him. So what you complaining for? But you're still going to vote for Trump. Like, y'all got to complain about Pence. Makes no sense.
I think it's sad to say, but I think we really do have to take into account Indiana's history.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's really be real about Indiana's history.
Cornfield racism.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of cornfield racism, but we also have to realize that is that iconic photo. I'm not sure if you can pull it up, but it's an iconic photo of the multiple black men getting lynched on a tree.
Oh, and the guy was pointing.
And the guy was pointing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that photo was taken here in Indiana, and that was way past the times of slavery. Yeah. You know, that was way past times of the deep slavery. That was almost in the 90s. I mean, I believe it was 1900s, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
so, and my thing comes to this. You know, it's late 1900s, and also racism has been a big thing in Indiana. Like, when you look at Indiana's history, you don't see a lot of black in Indiana's history. You know, when even watching the movie Hoosiers, I mean, I didn't see a lot of the stuff Indiana's known for. You don't see a lot of black. You know, my thing with that is Indiana is one of those states where it's been a lot of racism. You know, it just doesn't get really talked about. And I mean, Donald Trump, for him to choose this governor, for whatever reason, like he said, Trump must have saw something in him that he said, I want him to be my running mate. You know, so in a way, before today, I didn't really do much research on this guy, but I do know that if you have it in your heart to run with someone who does not like, who is so judgmental to the fact where they say, oh, one person, this one Muslim, he's this one Muslim, oh, all Muslims are bad, you know, we're gonna build a wall, keep everybody out, and is that judgmental? And if you have that personal character to go help him run for president and be his vice president, that can't be a person that I can, you know, right. Agree with, relate to, in any means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, we'll see how the election turns out. But I mean, I do feel like the people who support Trump are just a new breed of people. I mean, it's just, I mean, I just can't see. Well, I mean, you're really just a total new breed of people. Honestly, I can't, or not really a new breed, but all that hatred you had in your heart now is finally somebody. Now it's finally somebody who says it, so you don't gotta say it.
For you,
so now you ain't gotta say it.
Yeah,
so,
he already said what I had to say. He took the word out of my mouth.
Yeah. So. But I mean, as he's saying, like, we got new characters with these people who are celebrating Trump and actually want to speak out now. But I actually see where they see eye to eye, because Trump is racist towards Mexicans, wants to build walls for them, and Pence is racist because if you look at Pence's history, he has a history of racism showing towards black people with other things as moving and development for, you know, ghettos and hoods and stuff like that, where he won't fund the money for it.
So, do y'all think Trump will win the election?
It's a possibility, but I hope not.
I hope not.
And this is the thing I feel about that, because I was talking to Juwuan about it and everything. And I feel like, you know, and I don't want it to happen. I don't want Trump to win. But I feel like, you know, all the Republicans or white and black people that's voting for Trump and all that, and feel like, yeah, he gonna make a difference. This is what we need, because, you know, Obama wasn't doing nothing, this and that, third. Okay, that's all fine. But the people that's voting for him, if he does win, I feel like after 2, 3, almost 4 years, he gonna tear up everything in the country, and all them same people gonna be like, man, I don't think Obama was that bad back then. Maybe we should have, you know. Man, we shouldn't vote for this Trump dude. He kind of tearing up shit, you know. He made me lose money, and I don't know. I think Obama wasn't that bad. They're going to start regretting it, and they're going to finally see the mistake they made. So I feel like him winning is going to kind of open their eyes and see, yeah, we shouldn't have voted for him. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what we losing money. We losing businesses. People going overseas. No, he don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, we shouldn't have voted. Like, they're going to open their eyes up. But then again, I feel like they can still learn, though, even with him not being president. But I feel like it might be some type of divided system if he don't win. Then they looking at Hillary like she crazy and she ain't really done nothing. Oh, now we got a woman's president. Yeah, we really gonna be able to do nothing. I mean, we can't catch it. So until it's just straight white males in the office again, nobody not gonna be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fail. It's a lose-lose in my eyes. And this whole election gonna be a lose-lose.
Yeah.
I mean, Hillary, she's lied a lot. Like, you have politicians who lied. Don't get me wrong, but Hillary's lied a lot. And the one thing that, I mean, I personally was very, very, very pro Bernie Sanders. You know, and it's sad to say that, you know, he most likely will not be an eligible presidential candidate, you know, because he stood for a lot of things that, you know, that were promising. But it's like, it's going to be a lose-lose because, I mean, when you have someone like Trump who just shows racism, you know, it's going to seem to be okay. You know, it's going to be like, okay, racism's okay. So people who are racist have no problem now not showing it. Like, they're going to blatantly do it. And then you have the whole Hillary thing, you know, which is just lying, and it's really shady. You know, I believe Hillary's done, she's done little campaigns and stuff with people who have been confirmed KKK members and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that's going to be a lose-lose. But in the terms of Trump just as a whole and his candidate, and kind of back to what you said in terms of just not so much, and Pence not doing anything for, you know, the ghettos in the South Side. I'm not from Fort Wayne, but I've lived here maybe going on 3 years, going on 3 years. You can see the money differential just from driving around from one side of town to another side of town. You know, we all know. I mean, the people who go to Indiana Tech, you see people from Indiana Tech. I mean, you see people from the left side of Indiana, I'm gonna say, towards Lewis and stuff like that. You see the ghettos. I mean, a lot of us a lot of students will rent houses from these people. You see how bad some of these houses are. Yeah. You can drive 10 minutes away and it's nothing but peaches and bubbles. I mean, no joke. Like, and that's it. When you see stuff like that, and a governor who doesn't want to put money towards that, you can kind of get a feel of what his plan is as a man. You know, because as a man, like we all can see stuff. We all can see, you know, the malnourishment and the poverty and stuff like goes like that. Yeah. But when you do nothing to change it, that speaks to your character as a person. So,
going back to what he said, saying that Hillary is shady, you know, with a lot of lies and stuff like that. Look at her husband. Let's just talk about that campaign.
You ain't got to Bill into this. You ain't got.
Who she married to? Who she been with for years?
Got to bring Bill into this.
What Bill do?
He lied, but we ain't gonna talk about Bill though.
I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. I'm just being honest. But let's be honest with Hillary. But like we said, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yes,
Trump is racist. He has his own ways of what he wants to do with our country. Hillary lies. We don't know what happened with her. I think our best object was Bernie Sanders.
Who's the worst of two evils, basically, now?
But we going to learn from this mistake because I feel like Trump is a worse Bush. I feel like he going to do more and he going to make this country in more deficit and more debt than what Bush did.
If
somebody
he
had to fix
gas probably be about $5-6.
My question,
almost like we in Cali.
My question is, what is the deficit? Because can someone really explain to me? Like, I understand what deficit is. I need someone else's opinion on what, because we owe money to China.
Well, basically, it's all the debt that we have accumulated over the years of whoever we owe money to. So basically, if you want to be honest, China does own us technically.
In a way, yes.
And if you want to look at the debt, you can say I think it's up to some trillions now.
Yes.
So China owns everybody.
So how do you pay? How do you pay this? How do you pay the debt?
It's real. I don't think there is a way to pay.
My question is,
it's more like doing stuff for them.
Yeah,
instead of
like
paying
we keep
China's
gold and other
helping
stuff.
them
we
out and stuff.
Keep them with us. So it's kind of like a give and take system.
Yeah, kind of like keeping them happy so they don't make us pay.
Because my question is, how can you be in debt in millions of dollars when you can make money?
Because we don't make money. We don't make as much money as people progress that we do. We take from other countries, like all our oil supplies and all that stuff. Right. We're taking that from other countries, and we're not really paying that.
Right.
We're on a like a drunk at a bar. Put it on my tab, and I'm gonna pay it eventually when I get my tax return.
Yeah, and I feel that. But my thing is, like, if you have the ability to make currency, why can you not then in return make enough currency to pay that off? Because my thing is, the reason, like the word recession and the word, depression and stuff like that. A depression is nothing but when there is not enough money circling through the economy for the citizens of the economy to pay off, to pay and live their necessary lives. Correct. That is why the term cost of living. When you go out to somewhere like California, why are they paying their people more money? Why? Because they need that money to survive. Now, it comes to the fact to my mind that there's not enough money, period, being circulated in our country for us as citizens to survive. Now, if there is more money being made, that money can be given out. Once that money is given out, then more people can survive. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because when you look at it, they can cause a recession. All the government has to do is just stop making money. They cause a deep recession where now every dollar is way more valuable. Now instead of having $30 in my pocket, I only got 10. So now I can only buy 30%, 33% or whatever the stuff that I wanted to buy. If the government was to make more money and was to dispense more money, whether that is being through higher wages, whether that's being through more tax breaks, we would be the recession and all of that so-called depression that we're in, that's gone. And I'm really confused. How do you? It makes zero sense. It literally does. It really does. If I make cars and I sell cars and I owe someone 5 cars, and if all I have to do is go to the shop and say, hey, make 5 cars and send them over there, and then we're done, it's a done deal. You wipe your hands clean. But what I really want out there, what I really think is really coming into play is, we all know China has way more people. Population of U.S. probably about 400 million. Population of China probably about 1.2 billion. Yeah. 3-to-1 ratio. We all know we don't want to war with China. We all know that. America's supposed to be this really huge superpower. No. Let's really talk. Let's start playing our.
China is a superpower.
China is the superpower. I think what really comes down to, we don't want war with China, so we want everybody to think that China is in these great graces, and they're just this great really great country. We don't want war with them.
So, but I mean, if you look at China, let's look. Where do all our toys come from? Where do all our creations come from? Made in China. This is made in China. Why are we using it from them when we can make our own resources over here?
Then you gotta pay people more. That's the thing.
Yes, they don't want to pay people.
They don't want to pay people, but then you're gonna owe this big debt to China.
And
we're forever in the little brother
seat. From a company standpoint, you telling me you rather pay since now people are going about minimum wage. You rather pay someone $15 to make an iPhone or pay someone $2 to make an iPhone.
Which
over in another country.
Yes, from a business standpoint, yes, but as a country standpoint, it should overrule the business standpoint. And that is where, if Trump becomes elected, that is where problems come. Because now the business standpoint overruns the country standpoint. Our country standpoint, our unemployment we should not have unemployment.
Exactly.
When people look at America is the best country, we are not number one in any statistic. You cannot name one statistic except for obesity where America is number one.
Yeah.
When it comes to unemployment, when it comes to education, when it comes to transportation, when it comes to public funding, there is no place where America is number one. We fall behind somewhere we fall behind some country in every category. So my thing is, if you really want to make America great, we need to bring factories back here. Yeah. We need to bring jobs back here. Therefore, we stop. And the thing is, yeah, we might buy an iPhone for $2. How many people have cracked their iPhone screens? How many people iPhones have just stopped working? How many of your cell phones have just stopped working? Where now you as an American, now you have to go buy a new one. So yeah, also really all it is just businesses making more money every day, every day and day off of you because you decided that I wanted to go. Let's just send all these jobs over, overseas and stuff like that. And I feel what you're saying. $15 compared to $2, that's a big differential. Mm-hmm. But we have people starving here who would love to have a job to just do anything.
Which is weird because we got highest obesity, number one. So how people starving if everybody obese?
But I mean, I feel like China's a monopoly, and we have the resources to be a monopoly. We just don't want to go through the process to be a monopoly.
Yeah, we rather just keep doing what we're doing because
we rather just feed off everybody else.
Instead of doing our own thing, have them feed off of us. I don't want to do that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting question that you propose. I mean, that's a topic that can be discussed for days to come. But I'm actually going to switch some gears here, and we're going to talk about this. I don't know if you guys seen the thing in Nice, France. A guy drove a 19-ton truck into a crowd of people. He killed about 84 people at the moment, injured about 303. And now I guess the French government is now blaming ISIS for the attack.
My question is, I'm not gonna try to sound like this person who's cold-hearted, but why is that our concern?
Because America is the big brother to everyone, and we want to dig our head.
Why do we? And that's I think that's what we as Americans have to really dig deeper and figure out. Because I understand that we try to play this big brother, but like in a way. I think I was talking about it the other day, and it's you can't help someone else. Like, how can I give someone else a ride if I don't have a car myself? Meaning, how can I help someone else if I don't have myself situated already? Like, and as Americans, I think I get upset because we take so much time and effort and put it into making sure everybody else is okay. When we have our own war and our own battlefront that we're fighting right here.
Take your own people.
Like, people want to talk about, I've seen that everywhere. Nice this, nice that, nice this. Can we get back to the fact that we have police murdering civilians, we have corrupt governments, we have
make us forget that.
Bring it up. You see, and they try to make you forget. Like, and I mean, I talk a lot, and I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like I have not played Pokemon Go. I mean, it's a side note, but I mean, it's really addictive. But Pokemon Go, it's a reason why it was implemented and it was put out with the time it did. But we literally went from Black Lives Matter activists to Pokemon Go catching Pokemon.
Yeah, it's hard to be safe when you play it.
It's like the government will try to make you forget things, and they try to make everything. Oh well, at least we don't have people driving 19-ton trucks through the street. Well, it's worse because we don't know who's gonna shoot us next.
Right.
And I mean, I feel bad that someone over the people over there lost their lives. But at the end of the day, I think more of the focus needs to be here on the home front. How many times in China do you see "Pray for America"?
Probably not never.
How many times in Asia, in Russia, do you see "Pray for America"?
They worry about the iPad.
They worry about them. They worry about them and preserving their country.
Together, yeah.
And it would be different if we just had if everything was peaches and bubbles over here and we just had everything under control. We don't. So my thing is, instead of saying worry about nice and all that stuff, let's worry about America first. Let's get all of us. Let's get us taken care of first, and then we can go out and try to play big brother to everybody else.
And like as a side note, with all this killing been going on and everything in whatever country, France, here, wherever it happened, it's just been a lot going on the past couple weeks, back, left, and right, So we should probably just take a moment of silence just for everybody who's been hurt, injured, killed in whatever country, even in the home. Condolences to the families and stuff. So.
So, yeah, Then now, since we did that moment of silence, we talk about sports. We're gonna talk about the main topic that's been going on. Mr. Cool, Mr. Fundamental himself said he's calling it quits. Timmy Duncan, go down as the greatest power forward of all time.
Yeah.
I can definitely say something.
Yeah, I get it too.
Okay. I'm about to say, I thought y'all would have said some Karl Malone, Charles Barkley.
No, bro, no. They ain't have as long as a career. They ain't got as many MVPs and championships.
I mean, end of the day, Charles didn't win. Unfortunately, Charles didn't win. You know, Karl Malone, he didn't win it, if I'm correct.
He did not.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, let's really really look at things in the bigger picture. You know, they didn't win. Like, I mean, I don't want to be the one to say, oh well, you know, rings really matter about everything, because I mean, from my perspective, we had an argument today, but I mean, not taking away from Tim Duncan and his legacy, but LeBron will go down as probably one of the best, if not the best player to touch a basketball, you know, because of the fact that, like, just the legacy and the things that you've done. You know, Tim Duncan, you can't do the things that he's done. You know, he's played at such an old age and still been effective.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people take a backseat role. Like Kevin Garnett took a backseat role. You know, now in Minnesota, where he's more of a coach, a bench mentor, and stuff like that. Tim Duncan was out there playing until he played OKC, and it just wasn't effective for the you know. So I think he will definitely go down as one of the greats. And it's definitely sad to see him go, because you're not going to see too many people who really work on, you know, the fundamentals and stuff like that. Now you see a bunch of high flying, everything like that. I mean, it's high flying. You see high flying dunkers, or you see people shooting a 3 from 40.
It's kind of a new league we live in.
You know, it's tough. I mean, I did a little bit of reffing over this past summer, and I see. I mean, people like, I'm not saying they're killing the game, but people like Steph Curry and stuff like that. It's almost like the game's being so. It's getting
watered down.
It's watered down. I mean, it's also destroying it, though. I mean, what happened to kids where, okay, I didn't make a jump shot, let's take a layup. Now you got kids I've seen kids pull up from 40.
I'll make it.
Oh, I'm stroking 10 of these in a row. I'm gonna make 2 of them.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna just pull up from like a 40% 3. I don't care how good of a shooter he is. It's not more high efficient than a layup, you know. So, but I mean, I think that's just the way and the form of where basketball is going. It's just sad. You know, because Tim Duncan, they didn't go out and recruit other great players. You know,
they had solid Spurs.
They built a legacy. You know, they built a legacy in their franchise, and you don't really see that too much. I mean, even when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. Actually, how do y'all feel about that? I mean,
we already had this discussion.
Oh, really?
I think it's a sellout, but I say it's a sellout. I mean, he's trying to chase a ring. That's just how I look at it, and. To me, he's leaving a very capable team to go to a very, very capable team that does not need him to win. But that's just me. That's all I'm going to say. That's just me.
I just feel like he's chasing rings.
I mean, OKC they were clearly the best team. They were up 3-1 on Golden State. They were supposed to be over.
Just mentally
choked. I think that's just the mentality that is sad. But that's like the mentality of the league now. It's like, KD was supposed to win. We all know he was supposed to win, and it wasn't like if you're a fan of basketball and you watch that game and you really look at it deeply, they start going 1-on-1. And Kevin Durant, you know your teammates. You know you got Russell Westbrook on your team. So when you go 1-on-1 6 times straight and shooting fadeaway jumpers and all that stuff, Russell finna come down and go 1-on-1, and you're not finna get the ball 6 possessions straight. Like, so you gonna put yourself in the hole. Like, it's not like they were up in that game multiple times. So you had 3 chances to close it out, and you blew it. Well, 4 chances to close it out, and you blew it. You know, so it's like it was your fault that they lost. Really, I mean, let's be real. The blame's gonna have to go somewhere. Pretty much your fault that they lost. And you go from and people are like compared to LeBron, how LeBron left. No,
that's a whole
no,
different situation.
you know, LeBron, he was the team. So when he left, it was like, well, I'm leaving because y'all not. I'm losing. I'm losing. You know, like
You're not trying to build me up.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant, he left, and it was a real weak move, and now. To go to play for a Golden State team who's already stacked. Now they're going to be extremely stacked. I mean, it's kind of sad because now basketball is just going to become like who really wants to watch Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant on the same court at the same time? Like, it's going to be an all-star game every night to touch the court. Like, except for Zaza Pachulia playing at the center. I mean, in a sad part. Yeah. It's going to get sad. It's going to be sad to watch. But,
Well, I'm gonna leave it there. This has been another episode of Something to Think About. This is Jay Stu signing off. My people Trayvon, Devontae, and Eric Earl.
What
Woo!
the
I'm sorry.
Ain't
I'm
that an
sorry.
insult?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Signing
Oh,
out, man.
my
I'm
goodness.
sorry.
Ain't that about
all right,
a
man.
bit?
I'm sorry. My bad, man.
Good God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
Look at you tearing up
Man,
stuff, boy. You're
that's
tearing
easy.
up stuff.
Now.
Hey, don't hit the button yet. Before you hit that button, if you're watching the show, if you did watch the show, like it. Give us likes, love, share it, repost it, do what you gotta do. We're trying to get this thing going. So don't forget, like it. All right?
Follow me on